Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of OHAD. Today we will continue exploring the Cathedral of the Deep, where we arrived just last episode. And I will try and talk a bit about the lore, but not in a confusing way and not while getting distracted by everything around me and such. You know, to talk a bit cohesively about the subject. I did some things in between episodes. I actually went ahead and got myself a fire bastard sword to go along with my heavy claymore for now. The upcoming bit has annoying enemies and they are very, very weak to fire. So I thought it might just be a good idea to grab me one of those. So I went to Garrett, bought me a bastard sword, infused it with a fire gem, and there we go. As you can see, no scaling whatsoever. Combined, the physical and fire attack power seems higher than of my heavy claymore, +3, do note. But do remember that every type of attack, be it physical, be it fire, it gets checked against a separate defense. So as long as something is not weak to a certain element, your elemental weapons are usually going to do less damage than, you know, a regular weapon or infused with to scale with a certain stat. So there is that. I picked up at Firling Shrine the seed of a fallen giant, of the seed of a giant tree. On the upper floor there is this giant tree, which is basically just a dead giant that somehow, you know, turned into a tree or something. I don't know. It's a Duxel 2 giant, and those guys were weird. Anyway, if you use this item while you are invaded, well, normally an invader isn't harassed by the enemies in your world, but if you pop this item, they will be drawing aggro just as much as you do, so it's actually quite nice. For example, if you are in an enemy-rich area and you see an invasion sign pop up, like you are being invaded by Dark Spirit or Mad Spirit XXX, just pop one of these bad boys and, you know, worst case scenario, you might just burn up some of their Estus. Best case scenario, they just die trying to get to you. So yeah, there's that. Every time you are invaded, there's, I think, a 50% chance of this item dropping. And it also drops whenever you are invaded by an NPC. So even if you play online, you can still pick those items up. You can then, even then... Oh, wait. I just remembered they patched the NPC invaders. You have to be actually online to be invaded. Also by NPCs. Well, still. You can also use them on NPC invaders. So there's that. What else did I do? Oh yeah. I put a point into faith. Because we want to do something with faith, with miracles. So I thought it might be time to put some points in there. And I did this at Joel, not at the Firekeeper. Because, well, we did a few times and because I'm gonna show you guys what happens if you put points in your attributes at Joel's. I thought, why not? Let's just do it. Let's drop my true strength. And of course, shout outs to Miss Faith for supporting me all the way and hopefully beyond. You are in my thoughts. Anyway, while I continue, I can, I guess, give a brief summary of the lore before Dark Souls 1. I talked about the age of the dragons. Nothing grew older. Nothing died. Everything was immortal, and the dragons were so because of their skills. But then came fire, and with fire came, you know, stuff, light and dark, life and death. And in the fire, souls were found. These do not. And 4 individuals found the so-called Lord Souls. We had Lord Gwyn, we had the Witch of Izalith, Mother of Pyromancers, we had Nito versus the Dead. And here we have corpses. It's the Walking Dead! And we also had, oh look at the damage, like almost 600. Critical hit though, mind you. As you can see, they are really weak to fire, and I'm getting distracted again. And we had the first pygmy, so easily forgotten. And 3 of these so-called lords, the first of the gods, along with the dragon, Seath the Scaleless, the one dragon not immortal. They fought off the dragons, they killed most of them. Well, the lore says everyone, but yeah, we have seen dragons, so yeah, we know that is not true. And I'm gonna look at the item descriptions in a bit, so just give me a while. I just want to get rid of this area. And I'm lost. Oh no, no way. Bastard. Anyway, they got rid of the dragons, and the Age of Fire began. Also known as the Age of Gods, because the ones with Lord Souls were worshipped as gods by, among others, humanity. And I skipped a bit and I forgot where it is. Anyway, sometime after the dragons were vanquished, that's the way we should go. After the dragons were vanquished, humanity showed up. No one heard of the third of Pygmy, and all seemed well. That is until the undead curse started showing up, and basically said, yeah, you know, you might have died, but actually, oh, not good, not good. No, I died. See, that's why I get distracted. Keeps me from dying. Anyway, humanity started up, and then everything went south, because, well, we got the undead curse, and the fire started to wane. And I should actually go ahead and keep this thing. So, but that's not everything. Seath, the Scaleless, was obsessed with immortality. He'd gotten a title from Lord Gwyn because he helped the lords, and he became a duke. Duke Seath, and he got his own little library studying magic, sorceries, and started researching means to achieve immortality, and he did so via a crystal, one that you, the player in Dark Souls 1, will destroy and kill Seath. He also got a piece of Lord Gwyn's Lord Soul. He was not the only one to get such a thing. There were also the lords of what was it again? New Londo? The kings of New Londo? But at any rate, Lord Gwyn split his soul. Just to empower them, to reward them, whatever fits your way of seeing things. Anyway, and I'm getting distracted again. That dude is an annoying guy. Grave Wardens. Nimble, dexterous, and causes bleed buildup with their Warden's Windblades. They will drop their weapons. They will also drop their armor set. We don't expect much from it. Anyway. So after some time, the gods had built up their empire, built Aner Londo, New Londo, the Witch of Isolate had her empire. Nito had his own little empire in the catacombs. And his own covenant, mind you. And in case you were at the impact, the giant from the undead settlement is actually peppering these guys. There you are. They're off in the distance. Protecting the white tree, as he did back in the undead settlement. Now where was I? Yeah. So everything seemed good for a while, but then the fire started waning and humanity started to become affected by the curse of the undead. Basically saying, if you die, you come back as an undead. Not a zombie per se. But once you lose your will, your minds, your faith maybe even, you start to become hollow. And that's basically pretty much every enemy we see in this game. It's hollow. It just attacks everything in bloody sight. Thank you. Alright. So, fire started to wane, and with the waning of the fire, also of course the age of the gods. So, what happened? First of all, the Witch of Isolate. She and Lord Gwyn noticed this problem and were like, yeah, we gotta do something to stop this. Nito, not so much because he mostly sleeping in his catacombs in his own cover, you know, not noticing much of the world around him, leaving it up to the followers of his covenant. So, the witch, being a pyromancer and all, was like, yeah, I can recreate the first flame. Yeah, she couldn't. It went horribly wrong. Her experiment failed, and what happened, she fused into the being known as the Bed of Chaos and spawned the demon race. Lord Gwyn was like, that's not cool. So he gathered up some of his silver knights and went ahead to slay some demons, or at least tuck some sense into them. However, too many didn't went well. So he made a run for it, Elane, and some of his silver knights become charred and black and all, and became the Black Knights, and that's one of the guys that we fought earlier in at the Rites of Sacrifice. But he was like, yeah, well, we still gotta do something, right? Not cool, not cool. So, what he did at the urgings of a primordial serpent, beings that somehow, somewhere appeared and started to become all like, I'd made we're friendly, you should listen to us. And Lord Gwyn listened to one of them at least. And he was like, yeah, you should sacrifice your own soul to fuel the fire. Now, Gwyn did this. And he did extend the Age of Fire, but he himself became hollow in the process. Still, everything seemed good and awesome, because, well, Age of Fire continues, nothing wrong, but yeah, his soul wasn't enough fuel to extend the Age of Fire indefinitely. And that's where Dark Souls starts, the first installment. You undertake a quest with the meaning of relighting the fire, refueling the fire with your own soul, for which you need to grab the Lord's soul, so you have to kill the Bed of Chaos, who once was the Witch of Isolate. You have to kill Nito for his Lord's soul, you have to kill the Lords of New Londo, and seethe for their bits of Lord Gwyn's soul. And then you can access the bit where Lord Gwyn is, hollowed and all, protecting the flame, you have to kill him, so you can use your own soul as fuel. Either that, or you can just extinguish the flame and heralding the Age of Dark, the Age of Mankind. Which everyone agrees is a bad idea, but yeah, you know, you can be the guy who does that. Anyway, skip forwards to Dark Souls 2, and no, wait, let's skip first to the DLC part of Dark Souls. And there you travel back in time, and you find the Abyss. And in the Abyss you find a being called Manus, and Manus is rumored to be what is left of the fourth being with a Lord's soul, the furtive pygmy, all but forgotten, or so easily forgotten. Anyway, you kill him, Abyss withdraws a bit, everything is cool and yay, and it's strongly implied that the Abyss is tied to the dark and humanity, and that humanity basically is bad news. I mean, with the undead curse and all. Anyway, fast forward to Dark Souls 2. You are a cursed one, as in undead, come to the land of Drangleic. It has been implied that most of the kingdoms mentioned in Dark Souls 1 have gone up and vanished. And I missed their critical hit. Not that it really matters, but there we go. And, you know, you basically do everything you did in Dark Souls 1 on a smaller scale. You clear your trials, you go through armies of undead, and all with the express purpose of, like, refueling the flame. Or sitting on the throne of wands, because, well, this game was not designed by the creator of Dark Souls, but by someone else, and they were like, yeah, let's do it a bit different. Sit on the throne of wands, which is basically the same thing. Just relight the fire. Except this time there is this scholar, and I forgot his name. He's actually a pretty big NPC. He shows up at random times and basically tells you, yeah, if you harness both the power of the dark sign and the fire, you can break the circle of fire and darkness. You can transcend it. So there's that. Unfortunately, you can't do that because of reasons in Dark Souls 2, so it doesn't happen. You still got the choice. Okay, cool. We prolong the Age of Fire, or we start again a new Age of Dark. And it's strongly implied that the Age of Fire and Age of Dark, they actually follow each other up. So there's an Age of Fire, there's Age of Dark, there's Age of Fire, there's Age of Dark. So, but never are they indefinite. For every time someone chooses not to relight fire, in a coming cycle someone will do it, and so on. It's a bit fake, and I don't understand how it really works, because if the fire extinguishes, how the bloody heck are you gonna refuel it? Anyway, along the way there, you actually fight bits of Manus that wander the world. I mean, the main antagonist is actually a shard of Manus, a shard of the Abyss, Nashandra. We will see a painting of her later in the game, and we will actually meet another shard of darkness later in this game as an NPC. But yeah, so the ages and cycle through and through until the start of Dark Souls 3. This is where we now. We find out that rekindling the fire isn't necessarily the end of your soul. We find that there are beings strong enough that after refueling their the fire with their soul, they live to tell the tale. They retain their sanity more or less, and those are the Lords of Cinder. So they live out their lives, and eventually, I guess, just die off, and there is call for another soul to refuel the fire, or to, you know, like, extinguish it and call in a new Age of Dark. Alright, cool. So all that jazz and jam and cool, we are actually Ash, unkindled ones. And Ash and unkindled ones are those souls that were not fit enough to refuel the fire and live through it. We actually died and became Ash. So we, in a past cycle, did actually all this, you know, the same thing as in Dark Souls 1 and in Dark Souls 2, refueled the fire, but were turned into ash. And put into the cemetery, the graveyard near the Fireling Shrine. But now, something odd is happening, and I don't know if I can really show this. I don't think this yet. Can we see the sun in a bit? No, we can't from here. Well, this is becoming more apparent in the end game. But something is going wrong. No one is actually willing to refuel the fire. So, the bells have tolled. The bells of Dark Souls 1 were like a sign that someone is going to refuel the fire. And now the bells are tolling because we need someone. A desperate need to refuel the fire. So yeah, all kinds of ash rise from their grave, including us, the protagonist, as well as the Lords of Cinder. So Henri was awakened by the bell, I think. Siegward. The Crestfallen Knight. I guess also Horus, but he isn't unkindled, I believe. And the Lords of Cinder, like the Undead Legion, they're also awakened. However, the Lords of Cinder, the ones that are best fit to refuel the flame, aren't doing this. So it's up to us, the Ash, to convince them, gently or not, to refuel the fire. Why am I slow rolling? Wait, this isn't correct. Why am I slow rolling? There we go. Nope. So that's basically what we are doing here. We received word that from Henri that Aldred, Saint of the Deep, should be at the Cathedral of the Deep. So we are here to convince him, to give him a stern talking and basically say, yo, mate, relight your fire. But yeah, since this is a, you know, basically game plot, of course that's not going to be easy. And of course they're not like, yeah, you're right, let's do this. Mate, of course not. Okay, cool. Yeah, these guys just commit suicide if you start shooting at them. It's really epic. Alright, so that's the plot so far. So here we are after countless cycles. Pretty much what appears to be what is being said. This is the ultimate decision. This is the final time that we get to choose something. The world is at risk. This is the direst moment, the direst cycle ever. So yeah, basically just a plot of 1 and 2 rehashed. Alright, we picked up some items. Let me just quickly go to the description. Executioner's Greatsword. Do note, strike damage. Just like hammers. Strike damage. That's odd for a greatsword. This is, I think, the only greatsword that has strike damage. Greatsword of a debauched executioner used for beheadings. This sword retains a keen memory of its executioner's duty and absorbs FP, focus points, for each fallen foe. So basically you get a bit of mana back for each time you kill something. We picked up the Astora Greatsword. This is an Ultra Greatsword. As you can see, it's big. Like way bigger than our Claymore. This is one of the few greatswords that scales better with dexterity than with strength. It also takes elemental infusions like a charm, so lightning or fire. If you progress far enough in the game to get the crystals that actually allow for attribute scaling for fire and darkness, like the chaos and dark gems, also work great with those. We picked up the Saint Tree Belvine. Sacred gem for casting miracles of the gods. A Belvine cut from a small saint tree that has been meticulously tended to. Saint Tree Belvines are customary in the far north and allow for faster casting than ordinary sacred chimes. So, this isn't a particularly good chime, but what it does better than most chimes or talismans or whatever is that it has a built-in Sage's Ring. So if you want to use a chime just for your utility spells like healing or buffing, you know, this is actually a pretty good chime because you don't need to spend points in dexterity or wear a Sage's Ring to get a fast casting speed. You just use that particular chime, and I don't think that at least the buffs and all are not affected by spell buff at all. I may be mistaken. In that case, I apologize. Alright. These guys again, trying to ambush us, and we are smarter than that. So we lure them down and kill them. Oh yeah. We picked up a nice shield. There we go. Curse Ward Great Shield. This is a callback to Dark Souls 2. There was a mini-boss that showed up multiple times, and he had this shield. This exact same shield, although I think it was like at a different angle. I mean, these thingies were actually, you know, here to the sides, so I don't know. Anyway, Great Shield given to those who resisted the curse long ago. Far too heavy for an ordinary person, perhaps it signifies the foolishness of resisting the curse. And yet, those who bear the weight of this shield will not find its protection against curse, wanting. Now, this is odd, because the boss, the mini-boss who had this great shield, was a hunter of cursed ones. But here, they say, it's given to those who resisted the curse. But it strongly implied that that mini-boss was actually cursed himself. He was doing dark damage and all. I think he even does curse build-up with some of his attacks. So he wasn't resisting the curse, he was overcome by the curse and hunted others who were undead. So yeah, that's where, you know, like, the lore is a bit vague and odd, and you shouldn't always just trust it. Yeah, ambush, we don't care. And more of those little thrall dudes hanging to the walls, just waiting for you to pass by. And I don't know what happened there, but he just glitched out. Okay, cool. Oh! Wow, hello. Couldn't you give a warning or something? Not cool, dude, not cool. Alright, annoying bits. Alright, so like I said, now we're here in Dark Souls 3, trying to see if we can extend the Age of Fire, the Age of Gods, although there aren't many gods left. I mean, we killed a bunch of them in Dark Souls 1. I mean, we killed Nito, we killed what's left of the Witch Vicelet, we killed Gwyn. You have the option of killing his son, Gwendolyn. You also have the option to meet his daughter, Guinevere, and reveal that she is actually an illusion and left the city of the gods. Wait, you don't have a shield. Alright, you just commit suicide. Anyway, so there are many gods left, but here you are again. Trying to prolong the Age of Fire. But that's the funny thing. So we have a Lord of Cinder, Eldritch. Oh wait. Yeah, that's a torture device, and you don't want to know what it's used for. It fits perfectly over a certain part of the male anatomy. So let your imagination do the rest. Alright, Undead Hunter Charms. These prevent health regeneration. And again, do note the ambush ahead. Yep. So we have a Lord of Cinder. But Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2 imply that the deep, the dark, the abyss opposes the gods. But here we have someone, a Lord of Cinder, who's actually actively associated with the dark, with the abyss, for he is a saint of the deep. So how does that fit together? Maybe we find out, right? Alright, so here we are just skirting the outlines of the Cathedral of the Deep. And do note these statues. They don't seem... They have sort of wings, but they do not seem to be angelic at all. More like begging. And you can see actually the undersettlement here in the distance. So I don't know what's up with that, but they seem to be a bit... They are eerily creepy. That's what they are for sure. But maybe that's just to show the odd nature, the... what's the word? The hidden nature of the Cathedral of the Deep. I mean, they're not saints. They are actually... They're actually... look at that. That doesn't sound cool at all. That sounds cool. How can I say you sound cool? That doesn't look cool. It is just to show that there's something going on here that, you know, like the broader public, you know, the guys in the internet don't realize these guys are not the good guys. Fortunately, we apparently are. And yes, ambush again. And not just one. No, there's 3 of them. Alright, cool. And of course, more of them because, well... why not, right? There we go. If you enter this from the other side, and we can in a bit, you will note that you can just walk up here and find all these guys. You know, like one thrall here, 2 thralls here, just waiting in ambush, and you can just backstab them. You know, and then it won't do anything. Ah, nice fireballs. And because why not more stupid Greythorns? There we go. Their weapons are actually really awesome if you want to go for a luck bleed build or something. They take infusions really well and build bleed up really fast. Oh, they also dropped the blood red monster. Cool. All right. Two dudes are going for their sacrifice. There we go. And apparently somewhere else, something just committed suicide. This guy is just feigning death. And there's an army of guys just waiting to light themselves on fire. So let's just not just waltz in there. And we're being summoned to another world. Yay! Alright, let's see. Maybe we can... Alright, it's getting pretty dark. I'm gonna put the lights on. Here we are. Huh, I'm back in the undead settlement because, well, why not? Alright, cool. Nice. All right, let's try and keep alive, shall we? No. Well, that's disappointing. Oh well, happens. But that was a good parry though. We'll admit that. Okay, cool. Where were we? Can I zoom in, guys, please? There we go. No. Yo. Yes, you did. Dude, just come on here. There's a guy in ambush, waiting in ambush right there. I don't want to come to you. There we go. Do know there's a guy hanging here. And like I mentioned, there's a guy waiting there. And all that for just an ember. Cool. Alright, time to actually enter the Cathedral of the Deep. There we go, there we go. And here we have Annoyance. Wait, I can just show you guys like this. These are slimes, and slimes are basically resistant to everything and anything in the game, as you can see. Except fire. Although you do later meet fire slimes, and I don't actually know what they're weak against. Anyway. I was like saying, yeah, you should be careful there because these things try to poison you, these statues. Yeah, and I got poisoned. Cool, cool. Yeah, I'm awesome like that. Really awesome. And I don't have. Why don't I have the moss clamps? I don't have the moss clamps. Cool. Anyway. I was actually going for heavy. There we go. These guys resist fire, I think. They resist magic. They resist dark. Although dark and magic more than fire, I guess. But they're just weak to regular physical damage. There we go. Alright. We're almost at a shortcut. Gonna check in a bit real quick how long I've been recording. But first, slime and ambush. And an annoying fight down here. There we go, downstairs, downstairs, downstairs. And here is an evangelist of the deep just waiting for you. Now, the thing is, it's a small room, big maze, so yeah, that's a thing. And you can just creep up on her, and if you do it right, backstab her. No, I won't. Alright, deep gem. So, this I think is the first deep gem you can pick up. Basically the same as the fire gem that you can pick up on in the end of the settlement, which you can actually farm in the end of the settlement. Removes scaling, but it attaches dark damage to your weapon instead of fire damage. So it's a gem of infused titanite found in the dregs of the Cathedral of the Deep. Deep weapons inflict dark damage but lose scaling effects. There's darkness that lies beyond human ken. And like I mentioned, it has been strongly implied in all installments that humanity is strongly linked to the abyss, to the darkness. And the Age of Dark is also known as the Age of Men. Whoop whoop, we can go this way. We can either go on this lift, just go downstairs. Open this door. Just passing through because there's actually nothing here. And here we are, back at the cleansing chapel. Yes, yes, we know. Alright, so I'm just gonna take a quick peek at the time of recording, so I hope I remember to cut this out while editing. So let's just do that. And I'll probably cut editing back in right here. Alright, so yeah, it's actually one of the basic things to do, right? Just set a timer for yourself so you know how long you've been recording. But I'm not smart like that. I'm chaotic. I tend to forget things like that. I am not a smart man. Alright, but I think we can keep on going until we find the... At least for a bit. Alright, so here's where things get interesting. So yeah, this is not a friendly giant, by the by. Let's not try and fall off, shall we? I was like, let me quickly get these items, you know, just for fun's sake. And I get myself smashed. You know, you should, like that, just roll through his attacks. But I'm an idiot. I'm a failure. And I got myself killed. Alternatively, you can just skip this bit, just run past everything and come back once you've got the giant. But like I said, I'm not smart like that. I tend to do things my way. Yeah, my way is usually the hard way, because I'm not that good at this game. Anyway, that's probably not level by Yo. I checked and we haven't died enough times to get another level. Did I mention that I leveled Faith a bit up? You know, so we can actually grab ourselves some miracles in a bit. I mean, not like offensive ones or anything. Our stats are way too low for that. But it's there. Get your hand off me. I'm really not. There we go. Nope, 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 nope. It's just one of these days, right? This happened to me once, the first time I got through that area, you know, the first time I played Dark Souls 3. I was like, first time, what's happening? Oh no, he's smashing me, ah! And I died. And that has never happened ever since, because I was like, yeah, I can just roll through his attacks, no biggie, no deal. And now I just died twice. But yeah, that's what you get. I hope you guys do appreciate that, you know, like recording and talking and shizzle all while playing actually does detract from your concentration and your actual performance. Nope, nope, nope. Alright. Mate. You're not cool. Exploding balls. We'll look at them in a bit. Really, it's just not my... This is just embarrassing. I'm just embarrassing myself on video, you know, for the whole world to see. That's how much I love you guys, really. Just so you can see me fail, so you can see me die. Let's do this again, once more, with feeling. But at least that does mean that we can get a level at Joel. Here we go, again, once more. And this is not even the hardest part of things in this area. Oh, it's just like, okay, just gonna ignore that fella. And he's gonna be fine, it's gonna be fine. There we go. There we go. Alright. So we picked up some more items. There's actually just there are two that I want to showcase. Here, Lloyd's Sword Ring boosts attacks when HP is full, so as long as your HP is full, you do more damage. Derp, it's as simple as that. We also picked up, what was it? Exploding bolts. Bolts that explode on impact. Deals area fire damage in the immediate vicinity. Due to the risk of detonation, the amount of bolts the user can carry is greatly limited. Normally you can carry like 99, with these guys you can only carry 30. They're actually really useful against the balls late in the game. As are fire arrows, but yeah, there's that. Alright, so here we come out on top, where we saw the hollow firing arrows at us, while we were trying to escape from the stupid giant. And there's an evangelist up here, because, well, why the hell not? It's their cathedral after all. With back up. Just an ember. Let's give this guy a poke. I said give this guy a poke. There we go. With a nice arrow sticking from our arm. No, from our chest. Okay, cool. We got a nipple piercing. Alright. Yeah, as usual, thralls just hiding away, as well as a stupid bloody ooze. Yeah, I'm gonna dispatch these guys just here. Mainly because there's an enemy down there that you do want to fight alone. You want to focus on. Dude, just... There we go. So yeah, pick up the item at your own risk while ignoring the slime will cause it to drop on you, grab you, and do you quite a bit of damage. Alright, seek guidance. A miracle. There we go. Reveal more help and signs without using amber. Displays more help from other worlds and reveals summon signs without using an amber. Faith serves as a guide for clerics, meaning they should have no need for second-hand wisdom. Be that as it may, this miracle has been passed down from soul to soul, providing a tiny ray of hope for the lost. So, there are these messages, and there are actually some developer messages, and you can reveal them with this miracle. Alright, let's go downstairs. And there's a chest, and that chest is not a chest. It's, of course, a mimic, so let me just make some room for fighting. Oh, wait, I can actually... Like, yeah. The helpful signs. Mob enemy ahead. Me wary of mimicry. I should actually demonstrate the stupid hunter jumps, I guess. Like, yeah. There we go. So this guy just opens up once it does an underhand jump at it. And you can just safely pick up the items inside. And once you do that, you can actually just hit him once or twice to make it go back to sleep. Nifty, huh? So, you can use this to farm the symbol of avarice. You know, throw another one, hit him once, he goes back to sleep. Throw a charm. Check if there's an item. Hit him once so he goes back to sleep. As a fourth. And once he's at low HP, just go back to your bonfire, buy more charms, and come back. He will have his health replenished, so yeah, cool. But we are just gonna kill this guy. Mainly because, well, why not? Nothing. We did pick up the deep. Forgot to deliver this. Right. Pyromancy stone from the Great Swamp, containing enough pyromancies. Cool. And we also have a deep Brill Divine Tome. Right. A Brill Divine Tome of the Deep, belonging to the deacons of the cathedral. Give this to a storyteller, like Blind Girly Girl that we saved, to learn miracles of the deep, intended to teach divine protection to the deacons of the deep, but later dark tales were added to its pages, such that it is now considered a thing profane. It is an unholy tome containing dark miracles. You can of course still give it to Clara Girl. She will not be happy about it, but she will accept it and she will teach you the dark miracles, but that will, note, automatically fail her quest line. You can give this tome to her, but buying a dark miracle just fails her quest line just flat out. You actually want to wait for an NPC really, really late in the game to give this stone to. And that's pretty awesome English, to give this stone to. Alright, cool. Alright, that's the enemy I mentioned earlier. That's the guy you want to fight alone because he is a pain in your arse. Great shield, big mace. He actually can buff his weapons like that. And himself. And he is like a truck. Alright, let's see if we can... There we go. Mind you, they are really, really annoying for characters that, can't break through their shield easily. They can do a weapon buff where it does more damage. I think it's untapped, it's just physical. It adds physical damage to their mace. It also leaves back some kind of glowing mines that explodes after a few seconds. If he hits the floor with his weapon, so there's that. He also has a defensive buff that greatly reduces the damage he takes, and he also can heal himself. So yeah, it's annoying. Although they do drop the armor if you're going for the Deus Fool build. We will take back Jerusalem, of course you will, mate. Alright. Do note that thing. I'm just gonna cheese him. Yes. Annoying. You can just kill these guys, but if you want to do it the easy way, they can't fit through this opening. There aren't really all that bad, but they do curse build up. And once your curse meter is full, you automatically die, and that's not fun at all. Please come back. And for the rest, I do not know what they are supposed to be. They're like a spider being or something. It was clinging to the ceiling. And do not all these skulls hanging in its fur. I don't know if it's like a composite being or something. But it does look really, really scary. But that it does belong here. It actually hinted that with what he drops. Aldrich's Sapphire. There it is. A malformed ring left by Aldrich into the deep recovers FP from critical attack. So if you do a backstab, if you parry an attack, if you do what I just did, like stagger your enemy and then perform a crit, you get FP back. There's also the counterpart, it's Ruby, and that recovers HP. Aldrich, infamous for his appetite for flesh as he is a cannibal, apparently had the desire to share with others his joy of imbibing the final surges of life while luxuriating in his victims' screams. Sounds cool, eh? So yeah, not a cool guy. Alright. Let's just do a few things here. Like spin it onto this episode. So we've got trolls patrolling these holes. And I'm actually saving up souls for an NPC we're gonna meet next episode. Just to advance a certain quest line. We need to buy some stuff off of him. Alright, cool. There's, by the way, the giant that was harassing us earlier. We will show him that his ways are wrong. And there's also a giant just over there. Do know the sludge that prevents you from walking fast and stuff. These they're joined by all these stupid little slimes. But that's the way forward. For now, we're just gonna open up another shortcut. You can just walk by here, these guys ignore you. There's an item over there, but we will grab it next episode. So we were here earlier. Here we grabbed the poison bite ring, which ups our poison resistances. We have a doll here. And a lift. That's not important right now. We will come back here, but after some more wandering through the cathedral, because it's part of the questline. And the Covenant, so there's that. And here we are, back at the cleansing chapel. We opened up all the shortcuts leading back to this one bonfire. Alright, that's it, guys. Next time we're gonna wrap up the Cathedral of the Deep. We are gonna do the boss fight, and in between I'll probably visit Joel, maybe buy 1 or 2 miracles just in advance. And that is that. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.